Welcome to Two Wrongs Make a Right with Austin and Bob. Two guys who are usually wrong but always think they're right.
Hey, Austin, I just saw an article today, and I want to kind of see how you feel about it, and I got to tell you my connection to it as well.
All right, let's see what you got.
So this is something that I think you'll enjoy. You'll enjoy this. So I was looking on the news earlier, and I saw that there's news about Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, and he got in trouble for some brown face he did on some picture in 2001. And I guess he was dressed up as Aladdin for like an Arabian Nights event or something like that. Everyone's all, outraged about it. And I just thought it was interesting. I have to tell you, first of all, that this is a true story. So a few months ago, I was at my parents' home, and my stepdad is a big family tree guy. He does all this family tree search stuff. And he was showing me on there that there's a way to look at like who's in your tree, like going back to different branches and stuff. And, look at like presidents and celebrities.
Like an ancestry tree?
Yeah, like an ancestry tree. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so he told us, me and my brothers, that Justin Trudeau is our fifth cousin. And I was like, fifth cousin. And I was like, at first I was like, that's kind of crazy. But then I remember that, when my family came over from Europe, they did go to Canada first. And then they moved down to St. Louis, which is where I was born. So I was like, all right, makes sense a little bit, right?
How accurate is that, though?
It's pretty accurate. I'm just telling you. So that's the truth. So, he's a family member, is what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm not trying to defend him or anything. When it's going to come across that way, right?
You're a family member. Okay. Fifth cousin? Is that what we count as family?
Yeah, I don't know how close I don't know what that even means. Fifth cousin. I have no idea what it means, but I know it's a thing. All right, it's a thing. So, did you see that article, by the way, today?
I saw the headline and I kind of rolled my eyes and I was like, you know what? I think I've had enough.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Just one of those things. Like this is my thing. Like I know there's people that get outraged about certain things, right? And that's fine. We don't have to go into all that. But like this case right here, and I know it wasn't Halloween, but he still was playing it. He's trying to be a character from the movie. He wasn't like, he wasn't portraying as a random, brown skinned person. He was trying to be this certain character, right? So like, I don't know how offensive that is to you, to anybody.
I don't know. It's one of those things where you can dress up as the person and just wear the outfit and be done with it. Like how much do you really need to commit to it, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, he probably went over the top. He's trying to make, he's trying, like the picture that has,
and
like
that's
him and a bunch of people from the event. So maybe he's trying to like have the best costume at the event or something. I don't know,
but that's definitely a generational thing, right? Because our generation is more, and obviously kids younger than us are more like, why don't you just wear the costume? What the hell are you doing? Whereas our generation is like, go all out, man. You gotta match them totally.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see both sides of that. But
Doesn't mean he's a horrible person.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I started reading about it, and hearing about it, and it's like they're saying he might have to resign over that, and I'm like, really? You hear that?
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
Resign.
I mean, when I see the guys wearing blackface, I'm like, okay, that's pretty bad. And then like they're standing next to like a KKK guy, I'm like, okay, you got to resign, dude.
Yeah, that's bad. But like what I'm saying is like, it's not like this is what I'm saying. It's not like he put on brown face and walked down the street and tried to pretend like he's a different ethnicity than himself, right? He's not doing that. He's at an event, like a closed door event. He's just, he's dressed up as it's like Halloween. He's dressed up as a costume. He's just, it's not like he's trying to live his life as a different person, right? He's just this one-time event thing.
Yeah, and it doesn't sound like he was trying to mock.
That's my point. It's not like he's saying, "Oh wait,"
it's like not mocking an entire race.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. It's actually. I mean, isn't it a tribute? I don't know. The whole like, I don't get the whole blackface,
I'd be careful.
brown face.
I'd be careful with tribute.
I just mean he obviously appreciates the character. He wouldn't want to if he didn't like the character. He hated the character. He hated where the character's from. He wouldn't want to dress up as it. He obviously appreciates it. He enjoyed the movie. He enjoyed the story, whatever it is.
How old was he?
It was 2001. They said he was 29 at the time, so like 30 years old.
29.
So. But he said he hates it. He regrets it. He wishes he didn't do it. But I think it's one of those things that he has to say that because he's getting the backlash, and it's like I don't know.
Well, what? There's also a flip side to that too, where it's like you could say he has to say that, and you can also say that if I met me from 3 years ago, I'd probably punch myself. Maybe. I mean, there's a good bet that I'm going to think some way or say something stupid where it's like, why would you do that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's definitely, like I said, that's 18 years ago. So yeah, there's definitely, if I go 18 years back,
change. I mean,
it's like, yeah, there's things I'm like, what was I doing?
Unless you're just wildly stuck in your ways, you change. And I think if you look back and you're embarrassed or something by something that you did, I think that means you've grown as a person. So
yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that for him, like he's got it. He has to say, of course he has to say that. I guess he doesn't have to. I don't know what kind of, I don't know. But the point is you grow as a person. So
yeah,
I think
it is one of those things that we talked about before. We're like, You don't know, he didn't know 18 years ago he was going to be the prime minister of Canada. So he wasn't like, oh, I better not do anything bad because it's all going to come out someday. You don't know everything. Your whole life's going to get exposed someday. You don't know you're going to become this huge, famous person, right?
Right. And you also have your peers who are encouraging that kind of stuff too. It's like, well, I was thinking about going as Aladdin. Oh yeah, dude, put on brown face, do it, man. Yeah, you got to do it. Go all out.
That's what's gonna do. Like, no, because in 20 years I could be the prime minister of a country. Like, no, like he never is gonna think that. So it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like,
yeah. Well, and we're not nearly as woke, whatever you want to call it, as we are now. In terms of being, because people don't think about that kind of stuff as far as it being sensitive and. Just I guess sensitive is the proper way to put it, but also mean, because it's kind of a mean thing to do, because it does look like you're mocking somebody even though you're not meaning to.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, this is just a picture of him. Like, if there's a video of him and he's like making fun of like the culture, then I can see, all right, now I can see some outrage on that. Just a picture of him in a costume. I'm sure he was acting like a normal person at he wasn't like trying to do an accent. I don't know. Maybe he was. I'm just saying, with the evidence we have, which is one picture.
No, I mean it's like
not enough to go there.
Right, like we don't have like it's Saturday Night Live with Justin Trudeau. Hey guys, I'm Aladdin. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
it's not that. He didn't get that far. I don't think
context is key. I think to an extent for the older type of stuff. Because I think there's a little bit you have to forgive people a little bit who want to grow as well and do make mistakes. It's not like they're all horrible people.
Yeah. Speaking of being outraged, by the way, another thing I was looking at this probably a couple of days ago. And I don't really understand how it works, or how this is a beneficial thing or a controversial topic. But so in California, they're trying to ban facial recognition from police body cameras. You see this?
Yeah, I'm all for that.
So like my thing is like I'm trying to figure out what's the issue. Like why does they ban the facial recognition? Because all they're trying to do, I thought was, when there's a crime, or they're trying to look, they look at like security cameras from the area and trying to see who was guilty or who was around. So I thought they were using those cameras, like, if they have footage of near the thing, to try to figure out who was the suspect and who was... Isn't that what we're trying to use it for?
I guess that's probably the idea behind it. The problem with it is, A, it's not very good tech, and B, you can profile the hell out of people with it. And I don't know if you ever heard of... have you ever heard of deepfakes?
No, I have not heard of that.
Okay, so you should look stuff up on YouTube, because they have deepfakes of, let's say, like, Tom Cruise playing... Tony Stark in Iron Man with his voice dubbed over the lines and his likeness, so like basically looks just like him playing Tony Stark in Iron Man. It is wild.
That's pretty crazy.
Right. So not only is it a problem as far as with just like profiling, like, oh, it's probably this guy, and we can kind of alter his face a little bit to look like him, but it's like you could actually create a whole false report based off of facial recognition. And then if you get into this idea of, like, we kind of mentioned at one point, I think one of the episodes we talked about, where you have all your data and stuff like that, then you can really piece together and frame somebody pretty easily with facial recognition. If you were to do some kind of a deep fake with their face and put them in a location, be like, oh, well, they like this type of stuff, we ping their phone near it, done.
Yeah, that's what some of the critics were saying of this particular topic. They were talking about sometimes you can't even tell the gender of, in the picture, if it's if it's not good footage, not good lighting, maybe you can't even tell the gender of, you don't know if it's a man or woman. And so now we're going to try to say that man's guilty of something. And yeah, they said with darker skin tone, sometimes it's hard to tell from further away. So I guess I see. I just kind of the whole thing is like, we do want police to be able to catch as many suspects as we can. Like I just feel like we don't want to shut down all the cameras, all the stuff that that we can, so we can help see what's going on and get a little more. Eye in the sky kind of thing, right?
I don't know. We're entering this is just an unknown territory that we're going to have to figure out. And I think it's important to ban it first because we don't understand it. And like I said, secondly, just because of what can go along with it. It seems like we're trying to get to this point where we're trying to predict stuff before it happens. Or like in terms of pinpointing things, I think we need multiple forms of I don't know, man. This is just...
Yeah, I do think that... Yeah, I do think you're right. That is the problem. It's part of what you said. Like, this can't be the only evidence you have. It's got to be... It can be a piece. Like, if we think this guy was there and we see on a facial, body cam that, someone looks similar to him, we can use it to help us, but we can't say that's definitely that guy if we don't have definite recognition. Although I will say they use technology on this stuff, right? It's not like it's just someone looking at a video and saying, oh, it looks like the guy. No, they have like facial recognition, like, you see on the movies. and they try to match up what the face looks like based on like certain details in the face and stuff, right?
Right, yeah. But
Like
again,
CIA
with that,
stuff.
with the whole faking people's faces and whatnot, I just don't think there's a place for it this current time until at the very least they can deduce what, like, you can tell if you give a photo to a professional, you can, like, he has ways to tell that it's been photoshopped. If you have a way to tell that the face has been altered in any way or something like that, if there's like some concrete way to do it, then maybe. But even then, you're always going to have that itch in the back of your head or whatever that you want to scratch back. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if that really was him.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that should be banned. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it needs more work. Like it's not ready to be out here yet. We need a little more work on it.
It's more work. Speaking of more work, I saw there's a new Rambo coming out.
Oh yeah, new Rambo. Let me guess how that's gonna do in the theaters.
Yeah. I'm all for it though. I mean, if he wants to go out and do a Rambo and do an action movie, action movies aren't too popular right now, and why not?
I mean, I will say, I mean, this movie's getting, just so everyone doesn't know already, I'm sure you should know, this movie's not getting good reviews. Everyone's saying it's cringeworthy, it's bad. And it's like, I remember me and you when this movie was announced several months ago, whenever it was announced that it was coming out, we had a little debate about this, because you seemed to think, I was like, come on, are we doing another Rambo movie? That was my first initial impression. And what was yours?
Mine was, why not?
Yeah, and then I said, why not? This is why not. You're 70-something years old, Sylvester Stallone. You don't need the money, right? It's not a money. This isn't a money grab, right? He has plenty of money, obviously, so it's not a money thing. You're 40 years past the first one of these movies, which was a classic, by the way, great movie. And then again, my biggest thing, the reason I'm most against it, is the fact that that first movie was so good, and some of the ones after were okay, pretty forgettable. Really, the first one is the only one I care about. But now you're tarnishing that name. So when people think of like down the road of Rambo, they don't think about that first classic. Now they think about this newest one that's a piece of crap that everyone hates.
Do you think it's tarnishing the name though? I mean, it's not like some Oscar-winning film that everyone remembers, and it's a classic action film, and I think nothing will take away from that. It's like when you go back and you could still watch the first Zoolander. Obviously, the second one was not very good, but it doesn't ruin the first one. I don't think. You don't think of the new one when you watch the original. You're thinking that it makes you maybe he's doing it so you appreciate the original more.
I mean, I would agree with that if he had just done Rainbow 2 and 3, which I definitely saw Rainbow 2 and 3 when I was a kid in the 80s, but I don't remember him at all. Whereas the first one, if it's on, I'm definitely watching it because it's just a great movie. So like if he had stopped there, like Zoolander, there's 1 and 2 only. If they go to like Zoolander 3 or 4 and they keep being bad, wouldn't you at some point be like, all right, what now we have more bad ones than we have good in this franchise. So what are we doing here?
Well, we're kind of in that live in the good old days era anyway. So, again, I mean, if you were in your 70s and you were famous and you had
what
this
makes you want to do it, though?
franchise,
Don't you have enough money? You have all the money in the world. What are you doing this for?
why can't he do it? Well, he's bored. Maybe he's bored. Maybe he thought it was a good idea himself too. He's like, I got a story to tell and I want to tell it. I don't care what people think, and he's got the means to do it. So why not do it?
And I get that argument, but this is my point is like, all right, I understand. Maybe I'm not saying you have to retire from movies at 70 years old, but don't do it in this franchise, Nate. Don't stop the Rambo tag on it, because now it's going to bring that whole franchise down. Do it. Create a new character, new story. The same story, whatever you want to use, and put it in a new character. Don't tarnish that classic character. Don't do that to us.
You're saying he should approach it kind of like a Liam Neeson Taken situation, right? Like a new type of film, action film. Obviously, Liam Neeson's wasn't in his 20s or 30s when he filmed that, and it had like this big comeback kind of thing.
Yeah. Just branch it off into something else. Yeah, we don't don't.
I can agree with that. I mean, I could still watch a Stallone action film. It doesn't have to be Rambo.
Yeah, don't crush my
different
childhood. All right, I hold that movie, especially the first one. It's just in a special place. It's just you grew up on it. It's the first awesome action movie, or one of the first ones you see as a kid. And it's like, all right, this movie's amazing. It's still awesome now today. We don't need to tarnish it so you can make whatever money, and you can just. I don't see you get trashed in them. With the reviews. I don't want to see that. I like I hold them in a special place. Sylvester Stallone. Got Rocky, Rambo.
You like Stallone? Yeah, oh yeah. Although I will say I kind of liked the Rocky Balboa, and Creed was great. So I mean, he's had some success visiting the past.
We don't want to go on the Rambo thing or the Rocky thing. Sorry, like Creed's a different spinoff. I'll give you Creed.
Creed is probably what Rocky Balboa should have been, I guess.
Yeah,
in the
that's what I'm
beginning.
saying. Like those
Yeah.
Rocky movies, that, we can't sit there and say that 5 and 6 were good. We just can't say that. I'm sorry.
We can't say that 6 was better than 5. I mean, we can say that pretty.
We can say
safely,
that,
right?
and we can say 4 was better than. Well, I still think 4 was good too. But my point is,
I didn't have a big problem.
those started to go down the hill. The same thing. Same with the Rambo. Can we just cut it at some point, Sylvester? Do you have any more new ideas? Maybe that's it. Maybe he doesn't have any ideas. This is all he's got, so he just keeps running it back.
I think it's time for his son Rod Rambo to take over and have a movie franchise. If you're looking for a Rod Rambo, I'm your guy.
We need somebody. We need something new out there.
Yeah, I mean, when you got money. Speaking of money, I saw. I mean, I'm sure you saw this happen a little bit ago, but there was a gold toilet stolen from an art exhibit. Winston Churchill's gold toilet.
Seriously?
Yeah. So this was actually hooked up as a functioning toilet, and these guys stole it and just created all hell with water and whatnot, and the piping and everything just flooding. So I looked into the gold toilet a little more because I didn't know a ton about it. I obviously haven't done my complete due diligence with it, but it's called America, and it was this is okay. I have to preface this with I don't quite understand art. All right, and I'm sure you don't either.
That shocks me. I thought you were a big art historian.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay. So you may have to explain art to me, but I guess artists, some of them think they're really funny. So this this gold piece was a satirical piece of art.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he's all right. So he's poking fun at the fact that it's gold.
This is poking fun, and this is a piece that's worth millions of dollars, and it's famous. What? How hard is okay? Like I mean, on your gold throne or whatever, your gold toilet, that's been a joke for I don't know how long.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy makes it, and it's oh, you have to mention it's satirical. I mean, this is where we're going with this. And then
that's a reach.
Here's my favorite thing is it's considered art. You're allowed 3 minutes at the exhibit to use the toilet.
Oh my gosh!
What
you can actually use that toilet, and it's worth that much money?
You can use that gold toilet. You can have like 3 minutes alone with it, if you will. It's like I don't know what you're gonna do with 3 minutes alone with the toilet. I guess you're just going to hold it all day and really just enjoy it. But to me, like, it's a satirical piece of art, and it's a functioning toilet. Why is this art in the first place? I feel like I feel like the joke went over itself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like naming that art is just because the guy that made it was an artist before, so anything he makes is considered art. Is that how it works? Once you're an artist, everything you do is art? Is that how we call that?
You can literally crap out a toilet.
And just call it art.
And crap on a toilet and call it art. Yeah, my favorite part about it was the medium is it's defined as a gold sculpture.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, fantastic!
That's a new low in art, I think. Even artists who know that they put some some clunkers out there. This one takes the cake, I think. Yeah, that's an embarrassment for the whole community, I think.
Yeah, and I think the America thing was supposed to be funny, and I don't know. I just don't. Anybody who's rich, there was always some kind of a gold or riches joke. So I don't quite understand why this is. You have to tell me this is a satirical piece of art.
I've definitely, maybe that is their sense of humor over there, and they thought that it would just carry, everyone's going to enjoy this, or just like a lighthearted poke at something. But I feel like, let's, when we start slapping big price tags and stuff and saying this is worth a lot of money because of something, like, all right, it better be worth something now. You can't just tell me it's worth something because some artist made it. If it's not, who wants it? Where's the value in that product?
I guess my thing is too is you could have made it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not like, it's such a complicated thing. Yeah.
Where's the vision in your satirical piece, I guess, in this circumstance? Maybe he's got other stuff that's funny.
Based on that, I'm going to say he doesn't have anything else funny. This is probably the crown of his career at this point.
Yeah. And as far as funny goes, you ever heard of this this TikTok app that people are using?
I have heard the name, but I don't know what that does.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't either. You remember Vines? Those like 6 or 15-second clips, whatever it was.
Yeah.
They were
that was really popular
for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really popular. You didn't know why that they went under. This TikTok, man, I didn't know it was this big.
Is there a new version of
that? No, it's not the same people. It's some people out of China doing it, and it's massive. It's got over 800 million users worldwide.
Holy crap! I've never even heard of it. It's here too, or just in China?
It's here. I mean, it's in the state. There's 80 million people who use it in the U.S., which is a big chunk of our population.
And it's a similar thing to Vine, like you just short little videos.
It's a short little video thing. You can do music dub over, you can do comedies. I just read too that they made a deal with the NFL to have the NFL on there and do TikToks.
Huh? Is it like maybe like interviews in the locker room, or like
I
little clips?
don't know. It's supposed to give you some kind of an inside look, but I was kind of amazed by this. That I guess here's this like I would almost call this a global powerhouse. You have almost 1 billion people on this, and I didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, that's why I asked if it was in this country, because I've heard it mentioned in places before. I didn't know. I never would have believed it was that big, because I've just never heard of anyone using it or seen anything on it or anything like that.
Yeah, and this came after Vine's failure, so I'm wondering how Vine really failed when this is such a huge success.
Yeah, like Vine. I remember, I never used Vine, but it would pop up everywhere. You see little Vine videos everywhere all the time. So I figured if this thing was, that big or getting that big, I don't know how big Vine was, but this thing sounds like it's just as big or bigger. It's weird that we haven't seen it more. And why is it not more, how am I missing this?
I don't know. I mean, a part of me wants to believe that you already have TikTok videos of yourself lip syncing to Taylor Swift, and I'm gonna find it.
Well, I didn't want to tell you on here, because then people will start searching for it. It's going to get around. People, they're going to know my talent, and then then I won't be able to, then you won't see me anymore. Like, I will be gone.
You're gonna have to go viral, because if our playlist, if they're just gonna keep seeing that it's us refreshing and downloading our own podcast to try to bump the numbers up, you're gonna need to go viral so you can get this thing exposure.
Hey, you're right. I got to do what I got to do, but I do think the Taylor Swift stuff can stay in the closet for a little bit longer. If we get desperate at some point, I'll bust out a little rendition of it.
Son, you don't need to stay in the closet anymore.
Hey, I built the closet. I'm staying in it.
Loud and proud. Come on now.
If you want to get to that next time, maybe I'll let you go there. But still, I think I'll wait for a desperate time for that to bust that out.
That's fair.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna end this podcast in a good way today? What do you think about that? We're so good at ending it, like you don't know if I'm gonna end it now.
Okay. How long was that?
Maybe I'll end it now.